Can you hear me? Welcome back to Here and There, guys. Welcome. How are we? I bro do know, right? Because I am. Do you want to know why? Because today we're reacting to Stick Season by Noah Kahan. Sorry. My bestie will kill me for pronouncing it wrong. This is an album I never really gave a chance. I know Stick Season, the song, from TikTok, and maybe like one or two choruses from some more songs that went viral on TikTok, whatever, Instagram Reels. And today I'm excited to give it a chance and to listen to it full way through. We're listening to the Stick Season Will All Be Here Forever version that was released in 2023. This album is an hour and 23 minutes long. The original Stick Season album was released in 2022. Apparently this project was not meant to be a full project. Kahan was taking some time out of the music industry from his usual writing style, in that pop kind of style, and took some time away, decided to hone in on something that he was very familiar with, being the folk indie kind of genre. When he wrote the song Stick Season, I think he had wrote like maybe 4 or 5 tracks by that point, and in his mind he was like, this could be an album, this could be something. And so he decided to follow up with that, and he continued to write. He said it came very naturally to him, which is really cool, because you know when you're just tired from life and you want to take some time away from your norm to hone in on you time, like I want to be alone. And then when that alone time turns into something that you find fun and you become passionate about it. For Noah Kahan, obviously this is his music, right? And it could be anything for anyone: knitting, crocheting, baking, you know, normal hobbies, or even honing in on a passion project like I am with YouTube, or honing in on your career and deciding to, say, go back to school, or deciding to climb up the ladder. Whatever you do, sometimes all it takes is a bit of alone time. And I think it's really cool that this whole project... Why did I just forget everything I was just saying? So the fact that this turned into a passion project for him is really inspiring, and honestly really cool that he decided to talk about that. The title Stick Season is an ode to the in-between of autumn and the first snowfall in Vermont, I think New England. Not very good with American states, I do apologise. He talked about how hard that season is for his family and himself, and that writing this album helped him work through a lot of the emotions that he had attached to Stick Season. So for his family, it felt like there was always something going to go wrong, like almost as if it's like the winter blues times 10. There was always something happening, and that attached a lot of negative feelings to this season for him. And he said working through this album and writing it helped him work through a lot of the lonely, sad feelings that he felt growing up in a small town, experiencing trauma, stuff like that. And I think it's really, I love it. I love emotional artists. I love vulnerable artists and people who allow themselves to wear their heart on their sleeve. I think that's just so beautiful and very inspiring, very fun. You saw in the last video, I cry like a baby. I really do. So I'm very excited to listen to this. My best friend Kayla has been begging me to listen to Noah Kahan for a while, and she, I'm sure, is very excited to see me react to this. So Kayla, this one's for you, darling. I'm excited to get into this album. I'm excited to see what Noah Kahan has to offer me. I love a good folk situation, and I did like the tracks on TikTok that I've seen gone viral, but I just never really tried it. I never really like delved in, stuck my teeth in there. So I am very excited to get stuck in, you know, yourself. Noise cancellation is on, Sony headphones are on. Let's get into it. Going to listen first, and then I will have a little read. I do like to listen and then interpret. What the fuck is that word? Interpreted.
Interpret.
Interpret. That doesn't sound right to me. And we'll kind of compare, analyze. I can't speak today. I like to listen first and then interpret kind of my version and what I feel the song could be about and what it's about to me when I listen to it. And then we will read a little bit about what Noel Khan said about the song and compare, analyse, and just get a little feel for what he was trying to say in the song. I do prefer to interpret things my own way because I like music to feel personal to me. That's kind of the way I listen to music. But we will still read his about and his explanations and stuff like that, so don't worry. First track is Northern Attitude. Let's go. I love the start already. The feeling that it gives. I love a folky guitar, me. Oh. He's talking to someone. Wonder who. It sounds sad. Whoa, that opened up so nicely. I know this is the chorus. Oh, I love this. It makes me feel emotional. I was raised on Little Light, so like no sun is what I'm assuming. Scared to live, scared to die. You build a boat, you build a life. I love when it quietens down like that. Gorgeous. Is it gonna open up again? Oh, I love this so much. The backing vocals are like him screaming. It's so cool. Aww. I feel like he's talking to someone, like someone that he knows, possibly, but they're not from where he's from. He's getting at what I was saying earlier, which is, sorry, I was raised somewhere very cold and dark and gloomy, so I get sad until it gets to summertime. So relatable. I'm from Ireland, so I know that feeling all too well, and I think it's a very relatable song, and you can feel the emotion. He's like, please, I'm sorry. He's like screaming at whoever he's talking to, and he's like, please forgive me. This is just who I am, kind of vibe. And I like that. I love those isolated vocals, though. I love that guitar so much. It's so pretty. Boom. Gorgeous. Let's have a little read, see what he spoke about with this song. I like that lyric, and it said, you're getting stoned and kicking rocks. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the chorus comes in. Oh, it's a play on words. You're getting stoned and kicking rocks. Because you're getting stoned. And then you're kicking rocks, which are also stones. But also, it says here, kicking rocks usually means by yourself, often because you've been rejected by a group of people. And it's kind of alluding to that lonely feeling that he probably had whilst living rurally, I guess. In a moment of self-reflection, Khan observes how hollow and lonely a life this mindset can result in one living, and although recognizing he may not be able to shed this mindset quickly, shows self-awareness and asks for patience as he attempts to overcome his nature in an attempt to connect with someone else, seemingly an ex-lover he had previously pushed away with this behavior. Whoa. I was right in thinking that it was alluding to that loneliness that he felt and how he probably gets quite down and probably self-isolates when he gets into those moods. I think a lot of us do that sometimes, especially if you're from somewhere that is dark and cold and gloomy for a good chunk of the year, you tend to want to hibernate and want to hide away and not want to see anybody or do anything, because it's just how it looks outside is how you feel. You know what I mean? And I think that's absolutely, it's a gorgeous way to connect those feelings. And I've never really thought about those kinds of feelings myself. And I feel like a lot of people struggle with that who have lived rurally. It's very interesting. But I like that song. I thought it was gorgeous. I love the guitar. I really, really would love to hear an isolated version of like the backing vocals with him screaming. I need to find one of those because I think that would be so cool to see. Yeah, I love that song. Let's go on to the next track. Stick Season, track 2. This is the title track of the album. I think I know this one as well. Kept on driving straight and left our future to the right. Someone left him. Stuck between my foot on the plains and yeah, I know this. And I saw your mom, she forgot that I existed, and it's dreamish night of sun. Ooh, I like the layering. He sounds very self-aware. Ooh. Ooh. I love that line. I need to figure out what that means. I'll dream each night of some version of you that I might not have, but I did not lose. And it says here that he is romanticizing a version of the past of his partner, but it's a version of his partner that he didn't actually have, so he didn't actually really lose anything, but he's still dreaming of it and probably sad about it. Aw, poor Noah. Oh, is that banjo? I love banjo. His voice is so nice. Come on. Classic song. Went viral on TikTok, as it should. It's absolutely gorgeous. It definitely sounds like he is reminiscing about somebody that he was in a relationship with and is no longer in a relationship with, and dealing with the sadness that comes around that. Lyrics and meaning by Noah Kahan. I didn't expect him to sound like that. I don't know why. So Stick Season, I feel like, is up for interpretation. Like, for him, it's about the seasons changing and what that means to him and what that reminds him of. But I think for a lot of other people, it might remind them of something else. Like, to me, it's a song, it's almost like a breakup song in a way. Don't come for me. That's just how I'm interpreting it. It's talking about missing someone physically, emotionally, and spiritually, and dreaming of different versions that your life could have been, but also realizing what your reality is. And honestly, I love that. I think it's cool for someone to write a song and allow people to interpret it the way that they want to, because sometimes, I think more so fandoms, I don't think artists really do this, but like fandoms specifically will be like, that's not what the song is about, you're getting it wrong. At the end of the day, if someone feels something for a song and it is personal to them, let them feel it, because it's obviously helping them feel something in that way. And I think that's important. People need to feel. We're all human, you know? Anyway, I love that song. It's a classic, obviously, from this album. Went viral, as it should, and I really enjoyed it. It's catchy. I actually think I like Northern Attitude better than Stick Season. Like, it's catchy and it's a good song, but I loved how open Northern Attitude got, and I felt like this was very do you know what I mean? It was very similar in all the ways, which isn't a bad thing, but I just prefer Northern Attitude to this song. So the next track is All My Love. Let's go. Ooh, I like that drum. Oh, I like that. Oh, I love that. like the really bassy drum. Love that harmony. Oh, I love that so much. I love those backing vocals. It's like a choir. I love that. Oh, I love this so much. Oh. Oh, wow. That was absolutely phenomenal. Oh, everything about that I loved. I loved how open it was. I loved that big bassy drum. Some of it was like reverby in a way, like it felt really airy as well. Um, it just almost it felt hopeful, even though I know that it's about an ex. Yeah, so All My Love is an ode to an ex-lover who has moved out of their hometown and moved on with their life. Though Khan stayed behind, he still stayed in love. Oh, the poor guy. What a good writer. It's like just he knows how to put exactly what he's feeling into a song, but make it feel not so sad, because his songs don't sound sad. They sound so uplifting and like I want to dance around a campfire in a little flowy dress in the summertime. Do you know what I mean? Which is very interesting compared to the fact that a lot of them are about like his hometown and feeling lonely and small and sad, you know? I absolutely adore that though. Lyric retrograde, we'd shake the frame of your car. I love that part. Um this is this is referring to James Blake. He would listen to it in his dad's driveway at night when it was snowing, and my brother could hear the fucking bass coming through the speakers from the house. Do you know Retrograde? I need to find out. You know this song? Listening to that in like a car, I can understand it, because poof, it would be crazy. Aww. He's obviously just reminiscing on the relationship he had with this person. He smiled stupid the whole way home. While those 5 words in my head, you said I'll never let you go. Like he's looking back on it with love, and I think that's so important to do as well. Like sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes we can let go of a relationship and be kind about it. We don't always have to be angry. Now, obviously, certain situations you have to be, but that's okay. So, next song, She Calls Me Back. Whoa, gets right into that. Ooh, funky. That's different to the first couple tracks. Ooh. I love that line. This one's interesting. I don't know if I'm feeling it yet. Feel that. Tired all the time. Oh. Maybe he's talking about the same person from the last song. It's very easy to sing along to his songs. It could be a different person, but who knows? He sounds like an obsessive person though. Oh, I love that. I like that. That was another quick song. Okay, so She Calls Me Back is basically about a relationship hanging on by the skin of its teeth, Noah said. The narrator is bitter about losing someone, even though something was problematic about the relationship from the beginning, which is interesting. In the lyric, there was heaven in your eyes, I was not baptized. That kind of alludes to that, I feel like, because essentially you have to be baptized to get to heaven. And there was heaven in her eyes, but he was not baptized, so he wasn't really ever going to get there, and he knew that. But it was still fine because she would call him and they would talk, even though they were both lost and confused and probably weren't really getting on very well, but they still had that comfort to land on when things were rough, I suppose, especially during COVID, given that he wrote this during COVID. I'm assuming that would make sense for him. But yeah, I like that song. Not as much as maybe the others. Again, it lost me a little bit, like, for the kind of middle part of it, but then at the end, there was a really nice guitar part in it. That kind of brought me back in a little bit, but again, maybe not my favourite, but that's okay. That's absolutely fine. That's life. On to the next track, which is Come Over, track 5. Starts very fast. Oh, maybe they're hiding something. He was a sad kid. His voice is insane. I was taking the wrong meds. Feels good to be sad in my house. It's just bare in my mouth. Was the sign for my foot to fit in it all the I love the little run he does at the end of that. It's very pretty. I like that they added the guitar in the second chorus as well. Oh! Oh my god. That touched my heart. There's a harmony there that sounds insane. Oh, the backing vocals. Wow. What is happening? Someday I'm gonna be somebody people. Oh, that's so sad. Why am I gonna cry? That might be my favourite. That's getting added to the L playlist now, I have to say. Absolutely love that. At the start I was kind of like, oh, this might be a little bit sad, but that was absolutely beautiful. Why is there no about on that one? Right, let's look at the lyrics. I feel like that lyric, there's a coffin buried under the garden. It was there when we got here. It'll be there when we leave. Oh. So I was wrong. It's not about secrets. He's trying to imply here that at the end of the day, we all end up dead. A grave will always be a grave and nothing is going to change that fact. True. I guess so. My house was designed to kind of look like it's crying. The eyes are the windows. The garage is the mouth. So when they mention the sad kid in a sad house on Bulk Street, you won't have to guess who they're speaking about. The song feels so sad. Another lyric that hit me there was, I was taking the wrong meds, it feels good to be sad. I feel like this is a very common feeling when you're struggling with mental health. Like, when you start to heal from trauma, you're so beyond out of your comfort zone that it feels awful. Like, yes, you might be moving on from horrible things that happened to you, but you're also moving on from your safe zone and the safe space that you created for yourself during that trauma. And it does feel good to be sad sometimes. It feels easier and more comfortable and more familiar, I suppose, to sit with all of those sad and uncomfortable feelings than to talk about it or heal from it, or like even taking meds, like trying to help yourself physically, emotionally, spiritually. Everything is so much harder and nobody talks about that. Like, there's all this shy about like, just heal from your trauma and you'll be fine, or like, this year we're healing from our trauma, this year we're doing this year we're doing that. But it's such a big step to talk about things that hurt you in the past, and it's such a difficult feeling to know that you have things you want to heal but are too afraid to step out of that comfort zone that you've created for yourself and that safe space you've created for yourself. And sometimes it's easier to stay in it, and I don't think people should be scrutinized for that. Obviously, if that person is hurting you, like if you're the person that's sitting in that comfort of the sad feelings and you're hurting other people, that's not good, and people will start to call you out or leave, or not want to be around you, but that's on you. It's okay to sit in those sad feelings while you need to, but self-awareness is also necessary for those sad feelings. I just love that line. I don't know, it caught my eye anyway, that's for sure. I was very focused on what was going on at the end because it was so beautiful that I didn't really read the lyrics, so I'm going to read them now. Will be the big house on the block. Someday I'm going to be somebody people want. I kind of like clocked back in at that very last line and I was like, oh, this is like a sad song. There's not much about it really. Khan is saying he knows he doesn't have to offer. He knows he doesn't have much to offer and he isn't cool, but he wants to bargain for this relationship. He desperately wants someone to like him, even if it means keeping the relationship a secret. Oh. And it's like he's just fantasizing about being somebody that people want and having the things that make him that person that people want. He's not dreaming about people wanting him for himself and the person that he is. He's dreaming about them liking him for being cool and rich and having the biggest house, which is so sad. I don't know. I love that song. There's not much about it, but even just sonically it sounded gorgeous and I definitely will be listening to that one again, that's for sure. Definitely a 10 out of 10 for me. Okay, track 6, New Perspective. I like the melody. Oh, my ears. That harmony is beautiful. Oh, I love that. It's very country. Gorgeous. Aww. Oh. I need to figure out what that means because at first it was, this town's for the record now, the intersection got a target and they're calling it downtown. You and all your new perspective now, wish I could shut it in a closet and drag you back down. Is he talking about the town? Yeah, okay. I just wanted to make sure because that felt like a dig at someone and I was like, I don't want to get this wrong because it feels important. He's talking about how in the chorus in the town is like cool now because it has a target and people are calling it downtown. It feels new and interesting, but to him it doesn't feel new at all. He's like, shut up, everything is the same, please, why are we talking about this for, like, what's going on? I love that harmony so much. I love the melody, it's really pretty. And that guitar, or banjo, what is that? Someone tell me what that is. Liberal Rednecks is so funny. I love that little whistle that was in the background. That's so cute. I love that. Oh, that's so pretty. I feel like, is that the bird? It feels like a bird can't, like, making noise. I love the end of that. That was really pretty. Again, this is a continuation of his life in Vermont, celebrating the mind-expanding potential of change as exemplified by the opening of a Target superstore in a small town. The narrator talks about how he wishes the worst for someone he used to love, as mentioned at his performance in Fenway Park in 2024. Interesting. It's kind of like a double meaning almost. Like, it's about someone, but also another continuation of how he feels living in a small town and how that affects him and stuff, which is very interesting. We're on to track 7 now, Everywhere, Everything. That guitar reminds me of Bon Iver. Oh, I like the harmony. Oh, pretty. I've listened to this one on TikTok. So pretty. That's so cute though. I'm gonna love you till we die. I love it when he screams like that. It's so nice. That's such a nice harmony. I love how he opens it up. It's so nice. This song would be so good to sing live. Oh, I love that. I love that guitar. Oh, the screaming in the background. I love that line. Till our fingers decompose. Oh. I've heard that one through TikTok, but I haven't heard it fully. Definitely a beautiful song. I want to see what it's about. So the track lyrically brings us through a journey of Con and his lover and Con's hopes for the two of them to last for this lifetime and more. There's a number of allusions relating to death and the afterlife within the track, especially within the chorus, yes. Sonically, it fits well into Sixth Season with recognisable acoustic guitar seen in most, if not all, tracks up to this point, but there's also electric guitar elements who have not really been introduced up until this point. Interesting. I wonder if that's like... This may maybe deeping it a bit too much, but I wonder if it's like a metaphor for how you feel when you're starting to date somebody new, like that electric, like, you know, when you touch off someone's hand that you're just starting to date and you're like and you get that little, you know. I wonder if that's what he's alluding to. I'd be very interested to see. Yeah, interesting. I'm just whacking half my hair up real quick. I need my curly hair girls help with that, please and thank you. Next track 9, no, I'm lying, track 8 is Orange Juice. Aw, that's so nice. That's so cute. Sounds like he's talking to someone who has been sober and they were prepared for that person to come over and visit. Oh, that's gorgeous. Wow. Sorry, I'm very invested in this song right now. Ooh. I love the addition of the piano though in this. Is it piano? I can't even tell. This is absolutely beautiful. I love the lyrics. Oh, everything just feels like it's opening up so much. I love when he does a wee little isolated vocal. I texted Bestie Kayla and I said, I love Come Over. This album is so good so far. And she said, oh, I'm so glad. I thought you'd like it. Did you get to Orange Juice? She knows me so well. What this song is about in Genius is that it seems that Noah is reflecting on a loved one who got into a traumatic drunk driving accident that was fatal for some passengers. They'd left home and when they came back, they started to struggle with being there in the place that everything happened, and they can't comprehend how life could have gone on there afterwards when their own life and identity had been so irrevocably altered by the event. Noah is gently welcoming them back home, telling them there is orange juice in the kitchen so they won't be driven to the alcohol that so affected them. He provides them an alternative and tries to compassionately drive them towards self-forgiveness. So in a conversation with Billboard, Noah said he wrote Orange Juice about two friends reconciling after years of being apart after a tragic accident they went through kind of separated them. One person found religion, the other person stayed in town where the accident happened and kind of just moved forward. It's really a song about how trauma can bind you and how it can also separate you. I always think that going through something traumatic should at least bring you closer to the person you experienced it with. And I think the hardest thing about that is sometimes it makes you go farther away, and I wanted to write about two people coming back together after that time. I drew on a lot of inspiration in my own life, my own struggle with addiction and alcohol and friendships that I've lost and haven't been able to maintain. Not me crying. And I wanted to create a story about two people that represented a lot of the challenges that I've gone through and that people have gone through in my life. That's what Orange Juice is about at its core. I love that song. I think it's very beautiful. I think everyone has had their own experience with separation, like separating from people and having somebody either remove themselves from your life or you removing them from your life. And yes, trauma can bring you closer together with someone, and it does. However, sometimes a separation is needed because that bond is so tainted by all of the hardship that you went through. And when you do come back together after both parties have healed in their own way, it's 10 times better than struggling and fighting through that connection just to have that person there, especially if it's someone that you adore and that you love, like, you know, a close friend, family member, a relationship. Even if it's somebody that you love, it will be hard, but you should know that it's a good thing for you. And I think it's an incredible thing to touch on, especially when it touches on addiction and the irreversible damage that addiction can cause and do to someone's life. I think everyone has had some form of confrontation with addiction in their life, and knowing how hard it is to escape from that, it's incredible that he wrote about someone who got sober and how they're now navigating life through their sobriety instead of their trauma, I suppose. I don't know, I think the contents of that song, Bleeding Perfect, loved it. I loved it sonically as well. I could talk for so long about trauma and addiction and how trauma bonds can affect your life and how separating can be good but separating can be bad, all of that kind of stuff. I could talk about it for hours. So I'm going to stop talking about it now because if I don't, I'll talk about it all day. I did love that though. It's a very interesting story to write on. I think his music in general is very unique. I feel I don't think I've listened to anything quite like it before. Like, it gives me the same feeling that I get when I listen to Hozier, but in a way where it's like how it feels sonically. Obviously him and Hozier are very different sonically, and like they might be in a similar genre, but Noah Kahan's feels more country and Hozier's feels more ethereal in a way. But I still get the same feeling when I listen to both of them. It's like heartwarming but gut-wrenching at the same time. And that's what I want out of a song on an album, to be fairly honest. Next song, track 9, Strawberry Wine. Now, is it not funny that I just said Hozier and Noah Kahan give me the same feeling? Hozier has a song called Cherry Wine. Noah Kahan has a song called Strawberry Wine. Interesting. Sorry, I just read a little bit of the description. Noah Kahan's Strawberry Wine explores themes of nostalgia, love, and the bittersweet passage of time inspired by his grandfather, describing the cremation of his father, Kahan's great-grandfather. Guys, me and death, clearly, every fucking album I listen to, there's something about death on here. Can't cope. Drifting away from the Stick Season self-narrative, Kahan, leading the framework Strawberry Wine, achieves the goal of having simply exist as they are without forcing it. I wanted the attention to be paid to the story and to the space and the instrumentation leading the story, instead of kind of having that panic of like, oh, I need to write these dank lyrics or no one's gonna care. Dank is crazy. Kahan masterfully balances this tension, creating a poignant reflection on the intersection of memory and change, showcasing verses that capture fleeting summer memories and a chorus that blends longing and acceptance, reflecting life's impermanence. Together weaves a vivid scene of personal growth and the struggle of moving forward while holding on to the past. God love me. Here we go, let's just get into it. I love that guitar, it's really pretty. Strawberry wine and all the time we used to have, you were formless shape we'd fit. I love that lyric. Oh, he loves big. I love that. That's so beautiful. That's so pretty. Wow. I love that harmony. Aww. The whistling is gorgeous as well. It's so pretty. Yeah, it's definitely a song about unconditional love. In a way, he says here his granddad talked about cremating his own father, and how they did it was they walked the ashes into a town in Wyoming, up a big mountain where his dad had always wanted to go, and it was to him a really incredible act of love. And to Noah, love is being in a car and looking up at the stars as you drive down a dirt road in Vermont, and just the beauty of that moment. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. I think there's not a lot to like dive deep into in that song because it's such a personal song and also such a beautifully crafted piece of work, like lyrically. Absolutely gorgeous song. I love the ending of it. Sonically it's beautiful as well. That whistle at the end was stunning. I love the lyric, if I was empty space and you were a formless shape we'd fit, but love leaves a little runway and every time you run straight over it. Like, there's not a lot of room to love somebody, but when you do, you can't help how you feel, and I think that's gorgeous too. Oh, he's such a good writer, truly. Like, I'm actually in awe at how much I adore his writing. I didn't think I would, not because of any reason really, I just didn't expect it, I suppose. He's definitely... Next track, Growing Sideways. Let's get into it.
So I took my medication, keep the bad shit in my liver, and the rest around my heart. I'm still angry at my parents for what their parents did to them, but I ignore things and I move sideways.
That's beautiful.
There are worse ways to stay alive. I'm terrified that I might never have met me.
It's so pretty.
With my
Oh, we're gonna open up a bit. Oh, I love that harmony so much. I'm a sucker for a good harmony, if you can't tell. No, it's not. Pretty. Sonically, it's not my favorite, but I love the lyrics of this one. It feels like a very important topic, to be honest. Like, obviously talking about mental health and the process of healing and how easy it is to numb yourself and to go through life like that. This is what I meant in the last song. His lyricism is actually blowing me away. He knows how to write so well, especially about hard topics, and not make it feel like the most depressing song of all time. Like he said, so I forgot my medication, fell into a manic high, spent my savings at Lulu, now I'm suffering in style. Like, he's pure in a manic state, but he's having a laugh about it. And sometimes that's what you need. Sometimes you don't need to be like, woe is me, I'm so sad, I'm gonna go cry my life away. Sometimes it is easier to numb yourself, especially if it's something really traumatic. But like, I like that he's making light of it and openly talking about it, because openly talking about it can help even more than, like, I mean, talking about how numb you are, never mind what's making you feel numb. Like, just being like, you know what, I feel weird, I feel shit, but I feel numb at the same time, and I don't know how to deal with that. Even just opening up about something like that is so much better than completely going off the rails and not talking to anyone. But whatever helps you feel better, you know what I mean? I definitely liked it lyrically. Sonically, maybe it wasn't my favourite, but still a good song. I enjoyed it. Track 11, Halloween. Let's go. Oh, I love that. Oh, that's pretty. Oh, wow. Is that violin? I love a string. That hum that he's doing sounds like a string as well. Oh wow. This makes me feel like I'm a fairy. It feels very like whimsical. Love that. So this song covers Khan feeling like he's being haunted by the ghost of a person he used to know, meaning that he couldn't get them out of his head. The lyrics see him having a visible struggle with understanding this person even after they're not around each other anymore. This is likely because they weren't letting anybody in and were a supposed train wreck, where this person was a complete mess, which was alluded to in the lyrics. That's interesting. It's definitely lyrically not my favourite, but sonically beautiful. I do love some of the lyrics, like there's a murder of crows in the low light off Boston and I see your face in each one. That's crazy. It's like, crows to me represent death. So it's like this person is dead to him, metaphorically speaking, and he's seeing that this person is gone in each crow that he sees. Yeah, he's literally just being haunted by this person and he can't escape them even though they're gone, which is quite sad, but sonically absolutely beautiful. I loved, like, I mentioned it there a minute ago, but that first hum that he does at the very beginning, where it kind of slowly comes in, it's a really deep one. I genuinely thought it was strings coming in for a second. It sounded so beautiful, and then I think there was a violin possibly added in there, like some form of a string situation going on, and I love that. I love strings, so I would definitely listen to that again. Each of these songs are so unique, and that's kind of what I love about this album. Like, some songs I'm like not so attached to lyrically but really enjoy sonically, and some are the complete opposite, and I really enjoy that, to be honest. So let's have a wee little listen.
This place is such great motivation for anyone trying to move the fuck away from hibernation. You.
Aww. Woo! That's fast, that's nice.
Well, I'm tired of dirt roads.
Very upbeat, very different. I don't know if this one's my favourite, I'm not gonna lie. The harmony was nice. Yeah, I like that part. I think. I'm not sure if I'm a fan of the guitar, actually. His voice is incredible. Not my favourite song, but I do like it. It's like he's in a battle almost between himself, like within himself, like, I hate this place but I also miss it so much and I will die here, kind of thing. And I like that. It's interesting because it's very relatable in a way for a lot of people who move away from home, especially like literally out of their hometown. Like, I moved out of Dublin a year ago and I miss it but I hate it so much, and I would love to settle down there and have kids there and, you know, create my life there because I love Ireland and I love my home. But at the same time, I hate it so much because of outside factors, and also knowing that there is more to life and more in the world than just Ireland and the small knit country, I suppose, that we are. So it's definitely relatable, but not my fave sonically, I don't think, but that's okay. The next track is Still, track 13. Let's get into it.
Can't stay here, it's hard to face it. It feels too ugly, light a fire inside yourself. Still here with you.
Pretty.
I don't wanna say
I love that.
here with you. It's like I'm still here with you. It is something that you can't place, but you can't deny it.
Not my favourite again. I feel like I'm being lost a little bit in the middle of a lot of these songs. There's not a lot about that one. He doesn't want to let go of somebody or something. Yeah, I like that song. Not my favourite. I didn't really connect to it in a way. I'm not sure. Sonically, lyrically, it didn't really pull me in too much, but that's okay. That's allowed. We can move on to the next song, track 14, The View Between Villages. Let's go.
Air in my lungs till the road begins. I've got dreams again.
I like how it's so isolated. Oh, that's pretty. Ooh. It's building up a little bit. Come on. Give me something.
But I feel so far from it.
Sounds like he feels trapped. Almost feels like a memory that he has. The end of the song. Stick Season's closing track is inspired. Okay, so this is like the last track on the originally released album in 2022 or 1, is inspired by the scenic drive between South Stratford and Stratford, Vermont, consisting of a majestic valley that has offered Can a sense of happiness no matter life circumstances. However, when approaching the path leading to a bridge near Alger Brook Road, that peace fades, replaced by anxiety of nearing home and the emotional weight that lives there. Khan crafted the song to mirror this experience, with a serene opening giving way to rising tension. Banjo, guitar, and drums build alongside the unease before resolving into a final peaceful section punctuated by organ notes, a return to a fragile calm. It's beautiful. It's definitely a beautiful song. I loved it. I loved the ending. I loved the little organ moment going on. He definitely created the story and painted it really well. Like, it went from the simplicity of being young again and enjoying something so simple to getting to a part, I suppose, in your life and also physically on the road where you're reminded of all of the shit that's happened before. If I look disheveled, it's because I just spent 10 minutes scrubbing paint out of a carpet. Because of that wee interruption, I actually don't remember where I was and what I was talking about. I just remember that I finished listening to View Between Villages. Next track, Your Needs, My Needs.
You ain't gotta tell me what it means. How thin like dogs in the
Oh,
light of the moon.
wow.
Holding our breath after one. The bitter brain, always drunk,
Okay.
rail thin, so lost. Subtle change, shorter days,
Oh,
dead away.
nice. Oh. Wow. That's insane. Oh,
See a friend,
now it's quiet again.
see a ghost,
Wow. What the fuck?
see a ghost.
Wow. Sorry. That was crazy. How long was that? 3.5 minutes. That felt so fast. It felt like it. Wow. My brain. Mind is blown. It just came in and absolutely rocked my fucking world, man. This is about the loss of a relationship after someone has left, with two different versions of the same story depicted throughout the track, offering a hopeful and angry view. Very angry, you can tell. It felt so heavy. So Khan has hinted that the loss of this relationship also led him to mental health struggles and needing antidepressants and stuff like that. It definitely felt very heavy, obviously after the chorus, which felt quite soft. Ballad, calm, sad, but then even softer, like it just gets more and more sad and soft. And then
Always drunk,
the anger.
rail thin, so lost. Subtle change, shorter days.
What? That's wild. He's just talking about like subtle change, shorter days, dead eye, dead weight, your life, your dreams, your mind, your needs, my needs, your needs, my needs, spiral out. It's like somebody is latching on and somebody's needs are more important than the others, and he is so angry and frustrated about this. Wow, that was phenomenal. Sonically, lyrically, everything about that song I love. That's like a proper, like, you know, when you're angry at someone or something in life and you just want to scream at the world, that's a song I'd listen to for that. Absolutely. Next song is Dial Drunk.
I promise to forget you now.
Interesting start.
Between your tone is all
That was nice. I'm not a fan of this one, I don't think. I don't really like the banjo. I don't know. Something's not sticking with me, really. The guitar is nice.
sure to slip. Are you a danger to yourself? Fuck that,
Ooh.
sir, just let me call. I'll give you my blood alcohol. I'll romp with all the burnouts in the cell.
I like that harmony. It's nice. It's catchy. Oh, that was nice.
I die drunk, I die drunk, I die for you.
That one was my favorite. I didn't really like the banjo. It was definitely catchy, just not my fave, I don't think. Seemingly it is written from the perspective of a presumed alcoholic who has just been arrested and is using the phone number of someone they had promised to leave alone as their emergency number. The fictional man refuses to take blame for still contacting them against their wishes, saying his medicine has drowned their perspective out. The chorus of Dial Drunk was released on TikTok and quickly went viral. Oh, I've never heard that one on TikTok before. Definitely an interesting perspective to write from, because I think a lot of the times when we talk about addiction and stuff like that, we talk about the perspective of the person who the thing is happening to. It kind of reminds me of Beautiful Boy a little bit, the film with Steve Carell and Timothée Chalamet, because in that movie there are both perspectives of the addict and the person that is being almost tortured by the addict, with their constant back and forth of, I'll stop, I won't, I'll stop, I won't, I need it, I don't, I need it, I don't. It's definitely an interesting perspective to write from. Like, this person obviously loves the person that they're trying to contact, but they still love alcohol more right now, and it's not necessarily their fault, but they're still not taking accountability for how much they might be hurting the other person on the other line. So definitely interesting. Just not my favourite sonically, I don't think. I'm not a big fan of banjo, like heavy banjo, but that's okay. Next track, Paul Revere. Let's go. Oh, I like this now. Pretty. Mailboxes until my house. Ride like Paul Revere. Who's Paul Revere? He's an American silversmith. Is that violin again? Oh, I love that. That's pretty. I love a violin. It's very dark. Come on. I love that. Ooh. It's very dark. It's like spooky almost. I love a good outro like that. Just kind of creates more of that atmosphere from when you first started it. Paul Revere is about being tired where you are, but being too tired to leave it. Hear that. It's about those dreams we have, but no, we cannot realize. It's viewing a city skyline as you fly into the tarmac, imagining a life there while knowing the entire time that you don't have enough courage to reach. It's the conversation at the local bar with a friend where you both say, we have to get the fuck out of here, and then the reassigned sadness that washes over you when you think about your parents, dog, or job. Sometimes the dreaming is enough, even if that only makes your life easier for just one moment. That hits, actually. Wow. I suppose being from Ireland, like a small enough country and somewhere that feels so small when you're in it, like I'm from Dublin, and I know that living in smaller towns is even worse. Like, Dublin is relatively vast and like has a lot of different areas and cultures just alone inside, and sometimes it's like you can't escape the consistent theme that is relative to the area or kind of group of people that you're from, and you want to leave so bad, but there's so much guilt there when you leave. Like, I moved out of Dublin genuinely just to another county last year, and I left a job that I loved, people that I loved, like my friends, my family, and I miss all of them so much. But going to Dublin now hurts my heart because there's so much bullshit in the country, obviously, but in Dublin, like, personally as well, like trauma wise and stuff like that. Like, there's just so much bullshit attached to the county, even though I want to move back. Like, it's very conflicting. Like, I'd love to move back to Dublin and, you know, live in Dublin by myself in my own place, like not in my family home. But then I'm like, am I just going to be sick of it again? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's such a tricky thing to navigate. I definitely liked it. That'll be going on the L playlist for sure. Next song, No Complaints. Oh, slow again. Interesting. Oh, nice. That's pretty. Oof. Oh, I didn't expect it to be so lower there. I thought he'd open it up a bit more, but I like the lyrics. They're hitting. I like the melody as well, like the way this flows. Ooh. I love the harmony. Oh, nice. I love the strings. Oh,
Forgot how to cry. Who am I to complain?
wow. It sounds like he's struggling to express himself and talk about his mental health, especially now that he's like on medication and probably numbed, if anything. Sometimes it can feel hard to complain, especially when you're in maybe a better place than you were before. And he probably is trying to convince himself that like he has no complaints, he's fine, he's doing better than he was before, he's not as maybe manic or emotional or sensitive, but at the same time all of that's getting stuck in you. Do you know what I mean? I always say it, like, emotions need to come out. They need to come out, whatever emotion they are. Like anger, say, sadness, like you can feel them inside of you. You know when you have a good cry, like a good sob, and you feel better, like obviously you might be drained and exhausted, but you feel the weight lifted off your chest a lot of the time. Sometimes I just think that's better than keeping anything in. Now, I am a devil I say, for not reaching out. Like, it's definitely a work in progress for a lot of people. Do you know what I mean? Like, especially if you're on medication and trying to work on being the healed version of you, but you gotta reach out at some point. You know what I mean? You can't always keep it all in. And now the weight of the world ain't that bad. I filled a hole in my head with prescription medication and forgot how to cry. Who am I? Who am I to complain? Like, almost convincing himself that he doesn't need to cry. And that makes me so sad. I did love it though. Sonically, like, it just felt very, just things just kept happening. Like, there was strings, stuff that I wasn't noticing. I definitely really enjoyed it, for sure. Next song, Call Your Mom. That's so pretty. Aww. It's like he's talking to someone who was in the place that he was.
You could see yourself like this. You'd have never tried it. Don't let this start.
I love this chorus.
I've been exactly where you are.
I like the harmony. It's very subtle. I love that harmony. It's like he's begging this person to, like, live life. Oh, wow. Those backing vocals are beautiful. Beautiful. I really enjoyed that one. Sonically, I love the end of it, where it opened up really big. The backing vocals were really big and loud. It felt almost, I love the melody as well, like just how it flowed. It was really pretty. It definitely felt like he was pleading with someone to stay and to live their life and to not maybe hurt themselves in some type of way, and to see what life can bring, and that he was pleading from a place that because he had been there before. And I think that was beautiful. I'm just reading here and it says that he finds it difficult to perform that, and he's learning how to perform it while keeping his composure, which is really sad, because you can tell he is probably really connected to that song in a way where it's like he's experienced it on both ends, like being the person asking someone to live and also being the person who doesn't really want to live. With lines like, if you could see yourself like this, you'd never tried it, he highlights the lasting effects on those left behind, urging listeners to choose life. The lyrics could be seen as a plea to find any lifeline as reflected in the bridge. Medicate, save your soul for Jesus, which suggests a mix of seeking help, finding peace, or connecting with something greater to keep going. That is a really beautiful song. I think everyone has had experiences with that kind of situation, and it's very raw and vulnerable to sing about something like that. So I'll definitely listen to that one again, for sure. The last track is You're Gonna Go Far. Are we ready? I think I might have heard this one before, possibly. Little breakdown. Very cute. Ready?
Pack up your car, put a hand in, just still sing for, still fight for, still creep the leaves, still die. We ain't angry at your love, hate it,
Aww.
we love. But we'll all be here
It's like he's singing from the perspective of the people he's leaving, and I love that. Oh, nice. Oh, I love a good harmony. Wow. Little clap in there. That's cute. Oh, I like that one. Definitely heard that one on TikTok before. Very much a viral TikTok song that I have enjoyed. Okay, so it is from his perspective, but to a loved one who is deciding to leave the hometown. Obviously he's saddened by his own life, you know, sad and lonely and isolated, whatever. Is happy for the loved one because they're gonna go far and do great things even without this person. It kind of reminds me of me little bestie, because she is going to travel the world and leave this godforsaken country, as she should, and she feels more free and hopeful when she travels, and that's all I want for her. Obviously, if I could keep her in my little pocket all the time because she just gets me through life, I would, but I could never ever be mad at someone for leaving and choosing themselves and doing what they want to do and doing what they love doing. Like, if you want to leave, we'll love you from afar, like Noah said. He says it's a nostalgic kind of love song, platonic or otherwise, that speaks to the feeling of mundane loneliness, bittersweet love, and the need to let go. It is a very good way to end on the deluxe album. Obviously the next song is an extended song, so I won't be listening to that because I have already I've been filming for 3 hours. That was a really good song, really gorgeous way to end the album. A beautiful album altogether. Like, I have never, again, given it a chance, like I said, but I think it's very nostalgic in a way and almost homey. Like, it definitely made me feel cozy and at home. I think I got sleepy at one point, and not because it was boring, but because it was just like comfortable to listen to. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I have to say, some standouts for me: Come Over, probably my favorite. Orange Juice was a good one. I really liked Strawberry Wine as well. I liked all of them. Like, some of them weren't, again, my favorite, but like, they don't have to be your favorite for you to appreciate them, how they are lyrically, sonically, whatever, and for you to relate to them, because I think you can relate to everything, really, if we're really getting into it. Can't wait to listen to some more Noah Kahan. I don't know if he's got any more music in this kind of genre, because I know that beforehand he was kind of writing from a pop perspective, I suppose. But I am looking forward to more of this from him. Yeah, that is the end of the video, guys. I really appreciate you listening with me. I hope you come back again for another reaction. Let me know in the comments what your favourite track from Stick Season is, and if you have anything you want to recommend me in this kind of genre, I do love it. Please recommend it. I would really appreciate it. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna stop annoying you now, and I will see you next time. Bye.